Lord God, first we want to say thank you.
Thank you, Jesus.
For where you have brought us and how we have to enter this road, start off a new chapter, a new beginning. Lord, we ask that you have your guardian angels accompany her during this procedure and it goes smoothly and that she comes out better than when she went in.
Thank you, Lord.
Touch our child, let it be no imperfections, no issues. Whole and complete. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen. Good job, babe.
Thank you.
I'm just going to give you a lot more medicine through that little catheter that's going to make you really numb, okay?
Okay.
Really, really numb, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be with you the whole time back there, okay?
Okay.
But if you do go to sleep, then Dad doesn't get to go back, okay? But I think it'll be fine, all right? I just throw that out there so nobody gets upset if there are any changes, okay? All right, so we take her back now, and then we call you in like 15 minutes, okay? All right.
Love you, babe. But take care of her, y'all.
Yep.
Don't fall asleep. Stay awake.
I'm about to be your mom.
We had months. Then it was days, weeks, and days. It was hours. So a couple of hours ago, that was like seconds.
Yeah, she's about to be here.
Seconds. You're gonna see her in seconds.
I'm just telling her out so that I could be done, you know?
Is that what you still thinking?
I don't know how to feel good. Get ready to pull that off.
Huh?
Get ready to pull that off. Ooh, just push it.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
Okay.
Can you see it yet?
Let's go deep down into the throat. Just go to the stomach. How's that?
Yeah.
Oh, I see her.
You see her, babe?
Okay, stop.
She got a lot of hair.
What? Yes.
Oh, wow, a lot of hair.
Oh my God. She got hair like you. This one. She's out, babe. Yes.
536.
5:36.
Wow. I got a baby.
Oh.
Bye, Pumpkin.
Sister friend, girl, what's up? What's up?
Hi.
Oh, here she goes. Say hi. I'm gonna tell y'all my story, literally walk y'all through the process, list all of my medications, let you guys know how it was all the way up until delivery. And of course, I was pregnant with Summer. What is your name?
My name is Summer.
Summer, what?
Hi, kids.
Hi, kids. What do you want to talk about?
Come and do my this.
Oh, you dance.
Yeah.
You go to dance? That is so cool. So brother is back. And brother, tell my sister friends a little bit about yourself. Go
My
ahead.
name is Alan Knight the 5th, aka Cinco.
AKA Cinco. Okay. How old are you?
19 years old.
My child think he is 19, y'all. Excuse me.
I'm 7 years old.
He's 7. My son is 7 years old. My daughter is 2 years old. I want y'all to sing our bed song. 1, 2, 3, sing. Bed is your... Yes! That's it. Sing it. So they got a bedtime song. It's bed is your portion. Receive the bed. Receive it. We're going to close out really quick because I'm going to put them to bed and then I'll be right back with y'all. I'll be back, y'all. Got to put them to bed. So as y'all can see, somebody ain't go to bed. What I wanted to make a video about today was my pregnancy experience. So many people know that I had Hyperemesis gravidarum. It was something real, y'all. And most people, they don't really know what Hyperemesis gravidarum is. It is a morning sickness that is like no other. I wouldn't even really classify it as morning sickness. This is just my term of what it is. It is literally, no joke, y'all. You throw up, you vomit every single day, all day long. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to see light. You don't want to move. You don't want to do anything because you really just feel just that ill. It is called a severe nauseousness that you have for the entirety of your whole pregnancy. I didn't know what it was prior to me getting pregnant. None of my friends had it. My mother didn't have it. None of my aunts had it. My sister had it with her last child, but we were pregnant at the same time, so we kind of like were going through it together. I found out that I was pregnant at 5 weeks. From that 5th week to the 6th week, I was great. As soon as I hit that 6-week mark, I threw up. And I'm like, oh yes, morning sickness. This pregnancy is real. Like, I'm gonna have a baby. So happy. Needless to say, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. My mother had ended up coming to my house to bring me something to eat. So she's like, oh no, this is not right. This is not normal morning sickness. Like, I'm gonna take you to the doctor when you get out of, when I get out of work. The hospital said if you would have waited one more day, you would have had kidney failure. The doctor was like, ma'am, we're so glad you came. They were like, you have to stay overnight. Like, you're just way too dehydrated. Your kidneys seem like as if they're failing. So I'm really like, what is going on? Like, why is this happening to me? So now I'm crying. Yeah. Like, I don't want to have to stay in the hospital. I got 13 bags of fluid. That is how dehydrated I was because I could not eat. Like, I was just so sick. All I did was throw up. So at this time, I was still working. I was an executive assistant, which is what I do, at a doctor's office. And she kept saying, like, this is not normal. Like, you should not be this sick. So I ended up getting laid off because I'm no good. I literally would go in my office. I would close the door. And I would, like, just be literally laying in my chair, just laying there for hours. So that was about 8-9 weeks that I had got technically diagnosed with hyperemesis gravidarum. There's not really a time frame that they say is going to be over. They say about 20 weeks, but mine lasted the entire 40 weeks, and Summer came exactly on her due date. They had tried every medicine possible. Now, I have to give a shout out to the village that I had and my family, my husband, my mother-in-law, my aunts. Like, they held it down, because when I tell y'all I was out for the count, like, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything. I could not do laundry. I could not take my child to the bus. I could not go to the first day of school. I could not do Halloween. I could not do anything but lay there. And I would literally feel like I was dying. It got so bad to the point where the doctor actually told me, like, ma'am, I don't even know how to treat you. Mrs. Knight, you are the worst case that I have ever had. And it got so bad to the point where I needed at-home care. So my doctor had ordered a 24-hour nurse. So I had somebody around the clock with me all the time. My husband, y'all better get y'all a good husband. Thank you. I got a good husband, y'all. He had to drop out of school. He had to stop working for a while because I was so ill. Like, when I tell you I was sick, I could not do anything. All I had to do was lay there. My husband held it down. The nurse that would come to my parents' house, because we had to move in with my parents, by the way, because I couldn't even stand the smell of my apartment. We had to move in with my parents. My husband stopped working. My husband had to drop out of college just to take care of me. So needless to say, the nurses taught him how to change my IV bags, taught me how to change the strings attached to the IV bag. Like, it was real. So he was my nurse. My husband was my nurse. Courtney, you gotta, okay, it's 12 hours now. Let's switch out the bag. Like, he was on it. You gotta take this medicine. So the first medicine that I very first got on was a diclegis. Little white pill with a pink little pregnant lady on. I don't know if it's still like that now, but that diclegis, when I got it, I'm like, oh my God, yes, I can function. I can get up and I can watch TV. I was happy to have it, but it lived so short because I guess my body had just gotten so used to having it. It was like, nope, you're not gonna work. So once the diclegis stopped working, I went back to the doctor. They were like, we're gonna give you an IV. You have to have this IV all the time. So my IV was literally always running. So after they gave me the IVs, poking me in my arms, poking me in my wrist, poking me on the top of my hand, poking me in my feet, they had no more places to poke me. So then my doctor was like, we're going to stop giving you IVs, and now you're just going to get something a little bit more safe because you have no more places for us to poke. I got a PICC line. I thought God was telling me not to get the PICC line and just, I don't know. I just felt like he was like, don't get the PICC line, because it took them forever to call me in the back to get the PICC line. So I was scared. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to leave. Like, they're taking forever. As soon as I got up to put my coat on, it was like, Mrs. Knight. And I'm like, oh. So we go back to the operating room. I'm laying on the table. They got my arm all propped up and explaining everything. So I'm praying, y'all, like, Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, let these people know what they're doing. But I don't want to die. Like, just being real dramatic. Y'all know how I am. I am dramatic. The bag had the IV, the actual fluid in there. And it had like a line connected. And I'm going to show y'all the picture. It had a line connected out of my arm. And I still actually have the scar from that. I don't know if y'all can see. That one is from the PICC line. This one is from another IV. And this is from the Nexplanon. But listen, that PICC line, if I did not have the PICC line with the medication that they gave me, which was Zofran. Zofran saved my life. That's a word. I'm gonna preach that to some pregnant women one day. My husband was changing the bags, having a syringe, having to put the medicine in the IV bag. Like, y'all, it was real. It was real. My mother was so afraid because I couldn't physically eat anything. I didn't drink anything. I did not eat anything because I was too afraid of throwing up because I was so tired of throwing up. I wasn't even throwing up food. At that point, I was just throwing up bile. That's how real it was. So my mother was just like, this is not healthy. Like, my daughter is not eating. My husband was so worried. My father was worried. I didn't have any food for the last 6 months. All I had was TPN, which I'm going to show y'all the bag. It looked like a bag of milk, but it had like vitamins, nutrients, all type of stuff in there that will sustain me and the baby. April 7th is Summer's birthday. She came exactly on her due date, which I thank God, y'all, because if I would have went another day over, I'm like, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is not going to work.
My birthday is April 7th.
Your birthday is April 7th. Girl, you so smart. When the doctor was like, okay, like, you're doing a little bit better. Like, you're getting a little bit of weight. We're going to take the PICC line. I'm like, you cannot take this PICC line from me. This is the only thing that has been able to let me get up and watch TV, get up and walk to the bus stop. Like, I need this. And they took it from me at about 37 weeks. So I just had 3 weeks left, but I was just so afraid because I did not want to be sick. Like, I was so tired of throwing up. I just did not want to relapse, because if I did not take the Zofran, whether it was a pill form or injected in my IV, I would relapse. I needed that Zofran. That Zofran was the only thing that got me through my pregnancy. And I was just so afraid because, you don't want to take medicine when, you're pregnant. But I needed that. That was what saved me and Summer, because I was no good without it. I would tell my husband, I would beg him like, babe, I'm dying. Like, y'all, I really feel like I was dying. I was not being dramatic. I could not brush my teeth. Could y'all imagine that? Not being able to brush my teeth for 6 months? Or just having to go real fast, like, and then just spit it out? That's what I had to do. I'm like, yo, my teeth are going to fall out of my mouth. And I'm just so grateful to God, because there are some women that had hyperemesis and they had their teeth fall out of their mouth. I got all my teeth. I got them all. So I thank God for that, because that would have been something else if I didn't have no teeth. But when they took the PICC line, I had 3 weeks left. And I thought I was doing something, because when I did go into the hospital on April 6th, so I was in labor for a very long time, like 27 hours. When I got to the hospital on April 6th, and I just kept laboring and laboring and laboring. And then they were like, ma'am, your heart rate, your baby's heart rate is going down. Now you got to have an emergency C-section. So I'm like, dang, I didn't even pay attention to the C-section class, because I was determined, like, I'm about to push out my baby. Nah, you having a C-section. So even with the C-section, that was even something totally different for me. I knew nothing about it. None of my friends, the friends that I knew had, my friends that has had children, they didn't have a C-section. They went natural. So I knew nothing about a C-section. I'm just glad that the C-section was successful. It was something different. I didn't feel no pain. The epidural did me right. And look at what we have today. Look at what we have today. Say, you're going to make it.
I'll make it.
With hyperemesis.
With hyperemesis.
Make sure you subscribe. Say, click subscribe.
Alright.
Comment below. Like and share this video.
What is this video?
Okay. See ya.
See ya.